When we last left off, our intrepid heroes had made their way to the holy city of Ilona, home of Senatrea, the creatrix, first amongst dragons. They had themselves a meeting with the great dragon, returning unto her precious little grand wormling. Yes, indeed. Hugs were given out by the creator deity. She is very proud of you for bringing back Saris. Talks of perhaps getting a certain draconic boons were had, but before that you were informed that a certain dragon knight had also returned to the city and was quite irate to find that the princess he had been so eager to go out and rescue had been rescued out from under his nose and by a bunch of outsiders, no less. Senatray has kept him away from you for now, but nevertheless, he is in the city, and she suspects he's going to want to have some words with the party, probably Tarnavak in particular. But for now, you've all been given rooms in the Grand Cathedral, each smartly appointed and lavishly provisioned with foods and silken clothing and thick warm blankets. And the night passes uneventfully for all of you. Come morning, you each find a servant knocking on your door precisely at dawn to deliver a plate of delicious fruits, meats, and a strange beverage indeed. At first, I don't believe any of you would have any cause to recognize what white hot chocolate would be. But it tastes delicious nonetheless.
Hate you.
Nom nom
White
nom.
hot cocoa is delicious. I don't know what you're talking about.
It is very
I
delicious.
need for it now. And I didn't before you said anything.
I would like to take the time to welcome us all back. I haven't heard from you fuckers since last year. Good to have the session back and going again.
Unfortunately, that isn't true, and I stole that joke from you yesterday.
Yeah.
Squish.
I know, but that was for Sav&D. That was not for the Sav&D.
You said you haven't heard our voice. That's just an outright lie.
No, I haven't heard from you guys.
Savin was there yesterday, and I was, and so was Scoo.
Yeah,
I
but that
guess
was that
Merz
session.
maybe you haven't spoken to?
We hung out
DCL.
after game,
Oh,
actually,
well.
briefly.
Let's just DCL.
Terrible, the Hedrah, terrible.
To be fair, I'm like hermit hardcore right now.
What do you mean right now?
Like, more than usual.
Well, yeah, it should be getting a lot colder. I did warn you all for that.
It is a bit
Told
chilly
you all.
now, yes.
Yes, I
It's
told
actually-
you. Told you all. It
it's
would
actually
get
only
colder
Wednesday.
after the 28th. Yes, for the rest of the East Coast, Kira. Because I had a friend that needed to get to Alaska, and I can't really like send a fucking blizzard through when it's up in the air. That's a no bueno situation.
I really said it needs to drink some water.
God, my fucking brain boot up sweet buns. But here's the thing about this is that I know so far about this Dragon Boy, Dragon Knight, or Night Dragon. Like, we're not just any fucking outsiders. He should fucking know that. B, as wizard Esco said yes. We were on a personal request by Tiamat, a promise made. Thirdly, who the fuck wants to associate with somebody who says they'll uproot all evil from the very top to the very root, even
Oh, no,
including
obviously that part
children?
was, now we realize, just very well handled overcompensation for Heathurst.
I know, but that's the thing. Like, he shot himself in the fucking foot by saying, yes, I will murder children. It's like, who the fuck wants to help you when you say that?
Fair.
Like, yeah, that was the point I was trying to say. Even if it's like, oh, I didn't actually mean it, but who the fuck is gonna try to help, gonna want to help you when you literally say, I will murder children? If he was so fucking horny to get that shit on, I'd be like, yeah, no, that's not really honorable. That's rather extremely fucking lustful if you're literally willing to kill kids to get your dick on. That's psychotic. Fuck off. So that's so far how much my brain can process out the situation. And sadly, that's not any more eloquent or deeper thinking because, well, all CPUs are still running in sequence. You blame my cat.
So, morning has come, and once you have eaten your breakfasts and spoken with the servants to your heart's content, no one comes to get you. No summons are made. What do?
Like to head for the, I suppose, the central seeing room then. If there is a rare quiet moment, I'd love to get a hold of Sinatrea and ask her about goddess plans.
Sure. Oh, missing one more token here.
Oh no, Mori's been blinded. That must mean Mom is around somewhere.
Yep, it do.
Oh, there she is.
Yay. The moment I saw her blonde, I started looking around the screen for Mithras.
Indeed, once you leave the guest quarters, you see Kinara is still here, as is the Morgan, up bright and early and looking remarkably huffy, as Mithras has come down from on high and removed her daughter's hair dye.
Hmm. Yeah,
Indeed.
sidebar. Is there any difference to going into the dream when she was up here instead of Land, or was it same business as usual?
Same business as usual, though Morgan herself was not present for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
She is fully committed to her corporeal business at the moment. Indeed, as far as
Has
you can tell,
what's her face started showing up in the dream though? Foxo.
nope, not yet. Indeed,
Okay.
it looks utterly unchanged, and as far as you can tell, on any metaphysical level, being in Alona doesn't change your divine perceptions.
Okay, poke.
So, yes, once you have exited the guest quarters, Morgan will quickly step over, wing down from the gallery, give you a hug. Ah, good. Save me from my mother, please.
I can save her by also giving her a glorious hug, but you're in luck. I actually happen to, because of last time, pack spare black hair dye.
Oh, please don't say that in front of her.
It is true. I now would not be surprised if I were to open the box and find that it has become gold and sparkly, but we shall wait and see.
In the background, Mithras smiles mischievously.
What about Nahia? She's currently gothed up as well.
You have yet to be touched by the glorious mummification of the fertility goddess.
Okay. I shall adjust stance so that Morrigan can perch on shoulder, just sort of casual seating style. And head on up.
Titanic form of Senetreo slowly shifts its head around from whence it was talking to what you assume to be Saris on the other side to the lot of you.
Wave across the distance.
You can't actually see Saris yet. There's just a vague outline of dragon. There's just too much Senetreo in the way.
This is too. Okay, fair enough.
She is quite big.
She is a
She is
unit,
tremendous.
and she is like full body doggo sitting, so you can't really see like through her legs.
Very fair.
Yes, she will incline her head to you as you approach. Nahia, good to see you again. I hope you slept well.
I slept wonderfully, and a pleasure again, Senatrea, to see that this is in fact not a dream. It is a very mystifying experience.
I'm sure you'll get used to it.
That is a staggeringly terrifying thing to get used to, you realize.
You get the impression of a grin across her great draconic features.
But, yes, I wish to confer with you about certain plans. And wondered that we could have your blessing if those journeys take us a little bit further away than usual.
Oh, do go on then.
Well, only a piece of her own has been subsumed, and I wish to recover what stands of her, although it is hard to say what that might be. I surmise it's possible that the remaining shards have ended up in the same places that Morrigan's did. Her aspects.
Yes, that is a probability.
Of course, I'm pretty sure that if I were to try and go there, such a thing would break a lot of unspoken rules. Like, probably all of them.
Rules are what you make of them.
Mm, True, but I hate to think I was scrambling up, the physical. Just gestures at everything. I don't have really a word to encompass it.
Yes, it would be awkward if you started unraveling creation, but simply venturing afield isn't likely to do any harm. The reason travel is so difficult is more to avoid attracting attention from outside. You, your little head would melt if you knew the dangers that lurk beyond the sky.
No, such beasts indeed, I'm sure would be very great in dark.
Great and terrible and full of this darkness between the stars.
Ugh.
But you need not concern yourself with them, for this realm is made safe by me and mine.
That is good to know. Do you know if the case stands as well for the other places Morrigan is?
Senatria shrugs her shoulders slightly. Difficult to say. One of the trade-offs made for safety is a blessed ignorance of what lies outside. I don't go peeping out, and nothing else peeps in.
That's a terrifying concept.
Hmm.
Regardless, we're going to be looking around for clues, but I'm glad to have your permission, such as it is.
Yes, just be subtle. Don't bring attention back here. That is all I would ask.
Okay. Would you like
You-
any souvenirs?
She quirks her head to the side for a moment, shakes it. No, the less you bring back here, the better.
Very well.
And
It
don't
probably
take
won't
this
be
as a
for a while.
threat, Nahia, but when I say don't bring attention here, I mean if you do, you will find yourself unwelcomed back.
Understood. I will make sure there are no stowaways, so to speak.
Good.
Hmm. It probably won't be for a couple of years yet, but, I'm glad that that is sorted.
I don't know. It seems your friend Tarnavak has his hobgoblin fingers in a great many pies that lie outside my purview now.
Hmm. That is a fair point. Ponder and scratch chin. I wonder how hard it is to secure some smaller conveyance then for the family. Maybe such an adventure could be treated more as a getaway.
Don't go getting too casual about interplanar travel. That is how you make mistakes.
That is a good point. That said, it does strike the reason that I would like to have my family around for their safety from things in absence, and also just because I don't think any of them would forgive me if they missed out on the adventure of a lifetime. To go where no Mander has gone before.
Or perhaps you'll find a whole plain just full of manders and nothing but manders. You
It is
never
still
know.
my beating heart. I shall go back to soaking in easy comfort. Do you know if Tarnavak's challenger to be is around?
He is skulking about the city, trying to contain his anger. I have spoken to him somewhat since we last met. He is calmed, but Well, he also had the chance to gaze upon Ceres from a distance, and that did him no favors.
That is very understandable. Still rude, but very understandable.
Yes, well. With luck, perhaps you could simply leave the city without ever encountering him. Let him writhe in his little self-made cage of torment. But I suppose that would be lucky for you. I, for one, would like to see the show.
I imagine so. That, and I feel there is a historical precedent for what happens when you leave dragons to mope over a very long period of time. They become the kind of thing that adventurers have to go out and deal with, which is not a good idea.
Better dragons than elves, it seems, these days. But
Yeah?
yes, as long as you and your friends do not disturb the peace overmuch, fight him or don't, doesn't bother me either way.
Make sure Tarn knows that he might otherwise be depriving you of a show, however.
Yes, that would also be a rather expedited way to get my blessing for Ceres's hand. You hear a titanic tail sweep a little bit faster behind her. But that is up to Tarnavak, or indeed any one of you.
I don't think I could do that to poor Tarn. That would be real fucked if I've just been quicker to wake up in the morning and I run off to go do the duel while he's still napping. I I don't think I would be welcome amongst my companions if I were to pull such a dick move.
You deprive me of a great deal of drama, but very well.
I see she prescribes as well to adventurer television.
Would you not?
Ah,
Yeah, Senator will just kind of stretch out lazily, plant her chin in her paws, and watch you. Yeah, adventure soap opera.
I mean, that's what Winter does.
Eh,
He's downtown.
he loves
Exactly.
it. He loves his shows. I'm definitely gonna have to sidle around here and get a hug from the huggist.
Hell yeah.
Mm,
You get squeezed between Kanara and Mithras, and indeed, all of your goth makeup just sort of explodes off into glitter.
right, yeah.
Mithras will pinch your cheek and say, "That's much better. Now you look radiant as the sun."
A
And
blink.
indeed,
Wait, have I gold instead of red?
Kinara will hold up her great silver shield, and you are, in fact, just a radiant gold blonde.
Oh, shit. Come on, I'm already so pale and freckly. Get the blonde to me too. Oh no.
Mithras will smile and say, "I did not steal this power from Wolvard just to not use it. Now, make your choices today." She will lean in, give you a smooch on the brow, and then disappear.
Mm-hmm.
Aw, she's gone.
What do you think? Do I suit blonde Amari?
Mori will sigh greatly. I hate this. I want to go skulk now. Kanara will say, "Bye, Grumpy Pants," and also disappear.
Just perch and relax and try not to just get like secondhand high from being around so much residium. Lean on the pillar maybe and wait for the show to unfold, I suppose.
Morning.
Hello.
Good morning, Ursula.
So why are you both blondes?
Neither of us are blonde. Our hair is black right now. In fact, it's entirely possible that both of us have dyed our hair so black that it has in fact rolled over on itself and become bright again.
Yes, together we have plumbed new depths of Gothic fashion and arrived at this reflective black.
Reflective black! Fuck yeah!
Oh, okay, cool. I'll just throw this black stuff away then. Don't need it. Okay.
How was your night?
I don't know. I was asleep.
Probably a good sign then. I'd ask how Tarn's was, but
Yeah,
I
so I
bet his
don't really
room
know
was
how
next
to...
to Hashat's again.
Nah, it doesn't matter. It just taps on the rock. See? Doesn't really vibrate.
That just sounds like a challenge. When these walls are rocking, etc.
If you haven't missed the fact
Yeah.
that Centra is a... If you haven't missed the fact that Centra is a very huge mega dragon, and the
But,
fact that
yeah.
when she moved, nothing shook or vibrated.
Again, Hashat though is a stone sorceress.
Yes. And if we go back in time, she got her powers from stone old thingy.
Yeah.
That is supposedly descended from Senatria.
It doesn't make Hashat any less of a stone sorceress.
I know, but that makes Senatria like literally the one at the very top. So
Yeah. I'm just saying, it is entirely possible. Nay, likely, if anything, just for everyone's amusement, that Tarnavak was interrupted by the sound of vigorous Hashat entertainment.
Senatria will just make a slight puff. Please, I'm not Kalira.
Fair point.
Roll her eyes and curl around to go resume conversing with Saris.
but if you just looks at Maria and I like you guys don't want the black stuff, right?
I should already have black dye and makeup in my bags.
I am
Unless
blacker than
literally,
black. I need nothing.
yeah.
Well, you were blackish stuff, and you're not redhead anymore. So, like, whatever you did, are you sure your stuff is the same?
I have no idea, but also I don't walk these halls with my backpack on. That's still in my room. So, unless Mithras, when she vanished from here, snuck into my room, which she possibly did for giggles, I believe that all of my makeup is intact.
I can't. Nah, I had some left from when, what's it called? I dressed up in honor of Morris Ascension,
I remember. Goth Bear look very cool.
It was a bit weird, but it was to honor Mori.
I'll reach over and give you one head pat.
A new record.
Yay. At least we didn't have to fight some unimaginable powerful being for that one.
Oh, luckily not. Indeed. Save for the Titanic time dragon, my return to the Pantheon has been quite smooth.
Oh no, I meant the fact that we didn't have to fight a lot of things right now for me to get a head pat.
Oh, no, come here. Mori will just scoot over a little bit and give you several head pats. You are a good bear, Ursula. I care for you very much.
I try to be. No, only good at, getting bonked and half okay with bonking stuff because you've seen how hard everyone else hits, so. And Nahia and Hashat stop swinging, and then we got Szooth as well, and Mecha Szooth, and then we got Tarnavak with his Wachow and Waching and Swing Swang with the sword like that. And I got Bonk. I got 2 Bonk.
Yes, you all have quite a great deal of bonk, for which I am eternally grateful. No, DCL, you cannot.
Alright.
No, it's you're muted at the moment, so try to unmute yourself first. I'm just imagining Tarnavak sitting in the room going through the whole what's it called? Old samurai katana cleaning ritual with the cloth and then the light powder I don't know what's it called, the powder ball. Nope, still nothing there, DCL. Do not know what the hell you just did. Yes, I know it's the fact that it's a ritual. I literally forgot what the fuck the name of one of those things is, like in general. It's like this little ball there that has like some cottonish in the middle, and some fiber out there, to give it a ball shape there. That is spun around in not not, 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 not,
talcum powder. Oh god, other versions of that. I'm not sure. Old
Yeah,
Spice.
it's
Old Spice is his sword as though he's out for the pull.
Please, that's what Tarn's dad does. He's the boomer here.
I mean,
no,
you
it'd be
could.
like,
I mean, traditionally you'd chalk it, I guess.
chalk, that was the name.
And chalk your grips.
Yeah, you're using the chalk powder there just so make sure that keeps the area from being, blotched. Yes, that little puff powder. Yes, yes. Yeah, that's done at the end. First, you do the whole cleaning off, oiling, wiping it off, and then powdering it.
And then you
Still
take it
can't
out
hear
on a
you
nice
if you're trying
date.
to. Yeah, but if Tom's daddy using fucking Old Spice, it'd be like he draws his sword, you just hear, now look at your sword, now look back at me. Your sword could smell like a proper swordsman if you didn't use that fancy French rapier stuff.
Have you, Druva? You blast.
He's
Well,
hilarious.
Yeah, but you're not wrong though. The rapier is of a French design.
You're not
because it's
wrong.
the
Rapiers
evolution.
are gay.
You're
Every
just not
bot goes,
supposed to point
hey!
it out.
Yeah, every bot and fucking finesse rogue just... Shut up. Bullying our only source of damage.
Well, it is the evolution of the saber, so
Rapiers are very bi. Alright, yeah.
Yeah. Long,
No.
hard object penetrates men and women alike.
This is true.
indiscriminate penetration. I would call that sluttery.
No, it's pansexual, get it? Penetration's technically, it's fine.
A hole is a hole. Oh,
I know he's just gone to fix his mic, but it definitely sounds like he bailed out on a pan joke. Welcome back. Still can't hear you.
oh, indeed. Victoria Calton. Yes, that's the fucking 18 strength one.
Yeah, Victoria
Uh-huh.
Calliston is the best, and as well, 18 strength, still the best marksman.
Nice, Wade.
No. That the saber and the scimitar would work because they're slashing weapons.
That's definitely
Remember? Yeah, here.
Oh my fucking god. Okay.
Okay, now you can say what you wanted to say.
At this point, we are far past it. Keep going.
No. I wanted to
It was
highlight.
it
We
was side
haven't
comments.
technically moved.
It is side comments. I've forgotten it. I'm hot and sweaty. I'm opening up my window. Give me a second. Holy shit. Why are they blasting the heater now?
Because shit is about to go down. That's why.
Somewhere in Avara, Druvid and Victoria Calliston somehow bumped into each other and gotten into a weapons argument. Then they end up showing each other their swords. And that's the story of how Tarnavak stopped being an only child.
I was just gonna say that's how that's how Tarnavak found out his dad got arrested, exposing himself to Victoria Calliston in the street over a sword fight. Even worse when she pulled out the big horse dick, and he lost that sword fight too.
See, yeah, I was wondering, like, how the fuck you got them gonna stop being an only child? Like, she lacks the tools for that.
No, she doesn't.
No,
She
she's still
still
got- she's still got
keeps.
Kudu.
She's still got the cunt. Just
Oh.
also got a giant floppy thing that blocks ready access to it. You just have to be willing to lift it out of the way.
Or, you know, doggy style.
That,
The
and just
superior
get the
style.
sack out of the way.
Doggy style is the best.
She takes her sword arguments very seriously and personally.
Why should she? She's really just the best sharpshooter around.
Because she's crazy about swords and dueling.
Well,
She loves
yeah.
She loves a good sword fight.
Yes, but I guess I still can hear you over all those ranged crit shots.
Soul
I
of a
swear to
duelist,
God.
eye of a sharpshooter.
I swear to God, her fighting style is dueling. It's not archery.
And yet,
It's the
I
duel.
know.
You've got the kind of strength though that, and to go with your decks, that you should start walking around with an actual, just like, one of those naval like installation ballista instead, just so that you can carry it around and place it down to shoot people.
it's just a Roman scorpion. Just
Yeah.
plant that thing down on a tripod and start cranking out arrows.
Yeah. Now you know how fucking Pip felt.
Hi,
I'm
it's
an
Pip, the master
untrained-
arcanist.
I know. It's like, God fucking damn it. It's like so fucking annoying. I'm trained. It is not my fucking main skill. Be like, never rolled under a fucking 15. God fucking damn it.
It's like tryst with deception. Sometimes you're just naturally born good at something, even if your character sheet doesn't say so.
I feel like that's been Nahia's experience with Arcana. Bear in mind, she has still, despite all of the magic bullshit she's done, never ever trained Arcana. It's a 0. Flat dice, and she's done so much enchanting and randomly magically bullshitting her way into stuff. She's just a savant.
Yeah, that's the thing. That was the same thing with Pip, except everyone forced the goddamn Arcana rolls onto him.
Oh, I remember. For as much as I watched CSCD at least.
It's not like anyone else was better at it. But anyway.
No.
Okay, so other than keeping Saris and Tarnavak and Szooth, away from the library. Where's a good place to visit?
Well, if you want to poke your head outside. In addition to a quite large neighborhood of just living quarters, there is the quite expansive garden through which you all passed but a small part, and the archives themselves, and then the military training grounds and the Titanic Gate, Dragon's Causeway. But indeed, as far as you can see, other than the gardens, the archive is the main point of note in the town. Oh, so Nahia, when you finally circle around Senatrea's enormity to go talk to Saros,
Yeah.
if you recall Senatrea's own clothing of the tremendous battle negligee made of gold and jewelry, Saros is now wearing a much smaller, slimmer version of the same, as a
Oh my.
great winged golden tiara sitting upon her brow, and aside from her loins and chest, much of her dark skin is now quite exposed and covered with golden chains. She looks very
Wow.
embarrassed when you come around. Blushes furiously.
That is a stunning look.
It wasn't exactly my choice of attire. But thank you.
You're very welcome. I'm glad you were overruled. Yes, would you be willing to help me with some book nerdery?
Sure, I can do that. If Ursula's not going to bonk me for the temerity of visiting a library.
Turn around and check. Is Ursula waiting nearby with a kosh?
No, I just get one of those fucking child harnesses and a leash.
No,
Sure,
I
we
need
got
I
this.
need her nerd. I need her nerd powers, Ursula. I don't know how
Yes, but
these things
you're
work.
gonna lose her.
No, that's why I've approached with a task. And they do genuinely need the help.
This looks a mixture between gratified for being needed and slightly offended. She will nod and lead the way out towards the library.
Wait.
Just
Grandmother says this is the oldest library in existence, at least that still exists. Much of the main floor is just, well, some sort of cataloging system. Not the normal one we used in my archive. This one's older. But you see that tower there? Wait.
Mhm.
She says it's an extra dimensional space, almost infinitely large on the inside.
Well,
So,
that sounds incredible and very useful.
yes, it might not be super accessible to you, though.
Not even with the heir to the city lending a little hand.
No, I mean, well,
Oh,
she
wingies.
pushes the door open, and indeed, as the two of you step inside,
Oh.
I see. Yes, unfortunately, the otherworldly guise gives me wings, but they are not exactly wings of flight.
Who just walks past you and up the wall later he looks.
Just, walking up it. Son of a bitch. It's not fair. Why don't I use the fly spell? Oh, that's right, because I decided I need to dispel magic instead. All of it's incredibly sensible and actually proven terribly useful. Fair enough. Guess that's why I don't know fly.
Well, it looks like there's ladders, at least. I hope you like climbing.
Well, you know,
I think you're big and strong. You'll be fine.
yeah, I'll manage.
She squeezes a bicep and then unfurls her own wings and launches up.
I will still jealously begin scrambling up ladders. Grumble, grumble.
As you make your way up that particular ladder and then have to be pulled up the rest of the way by Saris, you find that there is another pair of dragons in here. Red draconic fellow that was in Sinatrea's audience chamber yesterday, still with a tiny red and black dragon coiled around his shoulders.
Ah, the Casses.
Yes, indeed. As you approach, the tinier dragon lifts her head and begins breathing a great gout of fire until the elder dragon pinches 2 fingers around her snout and pinches it shut. Hey, not in the library, psychopath.
I will just like wave her own flame tip tail. I would have caught it, thankfully.
Not worried about you. He gestures at all the books.
That is a good point. I have appeasement treats. I shall pull out the chewiest jerky I have. It's like bear jerky. I shall offer that so that she has something to teethe on for a while.
Yes, good. The dragon will crawl off of Elder Cass and slink over to you like a cat and take the jerky. And crawl underneath the bench there to consume.
Gotta get some of them, what is it, the pig's ears. If only they didn't make Pupper's breath the worst. I imagine bear jerky will work in a pinch.
Ah, yes, give her cocaine bear jerky.
That would be fucking that would be the toughest jerky you've ever had, but not very advisable still.
So, what exactly do we want to look into here? I think there's a section for basically everything.
Well, I need to figure out what the structure of an airship is and how different kinds of them function. And as well, make sure that they aren't dependent on too many factors, because I need to figure out how to leave this whole ass plane. I need to be able to make sure we can fix it and get back if things go wrong.
Do you really need an airship for that? I mean, Karn's working on the mirrors, you know.
I don't want to risk bringing mirrors to other planes.
Well, I mean, sure, but you could just have someone open the mirror on their side for you. Assuming it's
Again,
true that they used to go to other planes. We've never seen that in practice.
true. I don't know. The idea is scary regardless. I would rather be independently in control of fate, such as it is.
Well, if you're not using mirrors, the main question is how do you plan to transit your ship?
Uh,
And I guess Cleona has that book, but unless you want to be wholly
yeah,
reliant on that, you'd need some kind of planar engine.
that is true. It's either that or use the dream somehow. Make a tunnel in there
Oh, that
with
sounds
a
like a terrible idea.
big door on it, a big locked door.
If Sinatrea's worried about Things getting into the world. I think them getting into the dream would be much, much worse.
Surely that would be the place that poses the greatest risk to any kind of invader. That's the place where everyone here is the most powerful.
Tell that to Talion.
Mm, true. True. All right. I'll push that idea at the back. Oh, I guess then I also need to look into methods of planar stuff.
Yes, so we should figure that out, and then we can build a ship around it, given how much room we'd have left.
Good plan.
So, let's get started. Sarah rubs her hands together eagerly and begins combing through a book.
All right, I'm gonna send Vor out to go fetch coffee. This is probably gonna take a while.
All right. Indeed, it will. You are probably looking at several days of combing through the archive before you begin to get any sort of leads. It is just so vast, and that information is so restricted. Yes, I'm aware it's a 16.
Yeah, that is still counting. We are still looking for like unbelievably difficult stuff in a seemingly endless space.
Yes.
We might have to put the pin in this temporarily so that we aren't, let's say, lost here for days. As nice as it would be, I'm eager to, get onto the ring and, save Nahia.
Right. Yeah, of course. That's much more important.
Yeah, I would love to figure this step out, but it has been proven that the book is not going to fall into our laps.
No. Although, that doesn't mean I can't stay here and keep searching while you guys are gone.
I would certainly appreciate it, for sure.
Somewhere in the back of your mind, you can hear Ursula snapping a leash.
I know, right? Like, our companion train is already fucking huge.
It's true.
So it is her being occupied and doing something and in a safe place where she can spend time around her family. To me, that seems a win-win. And it just means that we end up rocking Cassie and probably just Mori herself.
August has said specifically he would like to come with you guys to
Oh, yeah,
Mount
that's true.
Aaron.
Yeah, that's a good point. I also put the invitation out there to Elra if she was bored of sitting around at home.
Oh,
Oh,
and yes, you can indeed lose Ceres to the stacks for an indeterminate amount of time.
the others are probably going to be annoyed at me for this, but this is very convenient.
We come back and like she goes, I got all the books and I found everything that we needed. And we're all just sitting there, everyone else be like, it's been 84 years since we left her in the library.
You've all had illusory magical beards put on, even Ursula. And then I keep taking airtime. Why don't one of you quiet people do some being not quiet for me?
I mean, no, I'm content here.
The scholar is in the library. The library. What
Yeah,
the
like,
fuck
what do you
need?
want from me? I read books.
Fair point. No,
What books are you reading and trying to find them?
That is true.
Detail, you say you're reading books. Well, which books you're trying to find?
Here, gave you like you got me right when I was chugging water. But no, Szooth is trying to figure out the best ways to. He's trying to see if there's any books that actually have guides on how do you officially boop snoop a dragon goddess, because he's doing that a lot more often recently. So he wants to make sure he's doing it right.
Ah, yes, the Kowmazon Hedrah.
Hey, he'll start writing it if none's there. It'll be the second edition.
Yeah, sure. Fucking
Oh,
roll
no.
me a religion check.
Do you have advantage somehow?
I don't
Do you have...
think I do. Religion is only not great. Good roll.
Well, let me get my sheet. Maybe I got advantage stuff here. What's the thing called?
What I have. Oh wait, this is to find it. This is to find it. Right. It's okay. If this is just to find it, if there's anybody who could write it if it doesn't exist, Szooth would be the one. So I'll roll this religion check.
What would you fucking call it? Like the way of the dragon?
Okay, only a 14. Only a little 13.
Alright, there is none for Hedrah herself. However, you certainly find an entire section dedicated to Kinara herself. The body shape, not supremely helpful for anyone who's not a tar. However, these books are very thoroughly illustrated.
I guess Szooth gets lost in that theory of trying to figure out how to perfectly best boop a snoop with a dragon. There's science to be done. No, but yeah, I don't have anything I want to do here.
You know, DCL.
Yeah. Okay, to be honest, I want to hang out with Hedrah, but we got to get on the road.
You got to get Road? What?
No, we got to get on the road. What?
Hedrah got a dirty brain today.
I don't even know where that one came from.
Yeah, I just heard like you have to get Road. It's like, excuse you? What?
Oh yeah, no, I enter in with the boop snoops, and then we're having a dirty goddess dragon gangbang. Wait, I'm joking, but is that a thing?
What?
Did you already bang this goddess?
I mean, yeah, but
What are you talking about?
Well, Vang Kinara, not Hedrah.
that boop snoops is it.
Yeah.
Which is even more perverted. But that's why we're never going to talk about it. But no. Wait, what were you talking about? Like before all this?
What books are you looking up? Things to learn.
Yeah, that was the books he was looking at. But
yeah, before I was making an actual ship post. Well, I forget. Were you around us when we were talking about that dimensional library? If anything, I'm probably actually seriously looking at books at time at this point, as we've kind of messed with time and space enough that maybe I should see if there's a field on it.
Now, that's an interesting topic to pursue. Will probably take a bit of time to go through the library since that's quite an obscure topic. But yeah, you can make an Arcana check. See if you can turn up anything immediate. Right. Much like Saris, this is a topic that is not covered in any particular read. It's rather obscure, but with some time, you are fairly certain there will be something in the library.
I will just use my time until the party inquires with me, or we gotta leave.
Excellent. You and Saris are library buddies for the rest of time.
We bring her tea.
No, for the rest of Szooth's time. Unlike
Yeah,
Sirius,
that's actually a
he
good
has
point.
a limit.
No. Follow me on this. Szooth probably cooks like makes brews, not cooks, brews some amazing tea because he has a backpack where he can just make fresh like leaves whenever he wants, and then he's an alchemist.
Yes, go on.
I mean, I guess I don't know enough about tea. I thought that'd be enough for like, oh, that would be amazing tea. Alchemy skills and fresh ingredients all
No,
the time.
drinking tea won't literally extend your lifespan, dude.
No, I
And
was
he
just saying.
said for
No.
the rest of time, he'd be like, no, for the rest of Szooth's time, because you're gonna fucking die before
wasn't talking
Sirius
Is he?
does.
No one
I
has
was just-
ever observed as Kobold dying of old age. We don't know their longevity, really.
No, I was just talking about like doing a nice little thing for like making tea for Saris while we're being library buds. I just thought that would be cool.
You
That
do
would
not
be very
need
cute.
a special skill to make tea, but yes, you can indeed do so.
Yeah, no, I was just saying like it must be like really delicious tea. That's where my brain was.
Yes, your skills as an alchemist and everything like that to make the best tea.
Yeah, no. I'll just be library buds with Saris, and that's me.
Then like waits an hour, then goes after to see whether hopefully they're not stuck in the library or lost to the library to be exact. We're all probably gonna end up in the fucking library one way or the other. But yes, that's Ursula will actually just wait an hour and then just go and see to check upon them.
Oh, the poor nerds.
And remember, it's not just, oh, she's pretty. She's also royal. It's not just pretty, a nerd, and royalty. She is literally the granddaughter of their god. That's in the next house, right down the fucking street there.
Yeah, that and she's, a published writer in her own titles.
There are many reasons Saris is being very distracting to everyone else.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
It's the best.
power is sexy too. So I take it as they haven't been lost yet.
Oh no, indeed. You find them much as Nahia had left them, crawling amongst the stacks, examining the many and sundry books. Szooth appears to have found a stash of divine pornography, however.
I'm not surprised. Like all the fucking, like just mumbles says, out of all of us to find divine pornography, the one that has sex with high priestesses of Mithras, dragons, goddesses. Of course, he's the one. Find it. Is there a librarian here?
Yes, there is a rather stately-looking gentleman with a inverted moon-like halo sitting behind the primary desk, which itself is shaped like an open book if writ large and long.
Okay, I will say this. As soon as you said inverted, my brain just went nipples,
Yes,
because
indeed.
that's the only goddamn time I ever hear the word inverted being goddamn used.
No, the inverted nipples in this room are way up there.
Okay. She got Dennis.
Yes. Now that it is not freezing cold in the morning.
These fuckers are pretty tall, aren't they?
They're elf height, more or less.
Okay. Please specify which type of elf we're talking about.
The only type of elf that exists in Iona, which is to say about 6 foot on average, regardless of gender.
Okay. Because there's, like the pale ones, there's dark ones, and there's probably some other weird ones. It just looks up. Hey, you got any in the indexes for stonework?
Indices, my dear. Indices.
Indices, yes.
And yes,
For
the index section is outside. He will point back towards the door you just came in. The many, many cataloging shelves.
okay, just need that one for masonry.
Yes, masonry would be the correct subject. Serenely return to writing in a quite large ledger.
Okay, let's go back to find see where the fuck the masonry books are located at.
All right,
What?
Ursula, roll intelligence. Let's see if you find anything.
Highly doubt that.
All
I
right.
highly doubted that correctly.
By the time that the party is ready to leave the city entirely, you will have found the index for masonry.
Would stone cunning not have applied here?
No, that is for actually dealing with stone, not book.
I take it none of these actually intelligent things would take pity on the goddamn dumbass trying to read the cards and the letters there.
Or nerds, none of them have social skills.
No, everyone is very deeply buried in their book. And those who are not are trying to look as much whenever Saris approaches one of the railings.
Ding dong.
Pretty good.
Pardon, sorry, Dacia?
Pretty good.
You are very low. What did you say there?
Oh, I said, where did everybody go? Everything was so quiet.
I know, it was quiet. I was like, I'm determined not to be the one to speak up again. Everyone's been so quiet.
Ah. Yes, well, Szooth is in the library. What's her name? Nahia's in the library. Sarah's in the library. Ursula is trying very hard to look at books that has the index to find a book on masonry. She's trying to find a section for masonry. But they're very big books and lots of words. That's why. That's why it's so quiet, because normally you tend to be quiet in libraries.
Everyone's just surreptitiously passing notes around.
Yeah, it seems so. Nahia left the library after it became apparent that they wouldn't have an easy time of it. Probably like an hour or so of looking around before Saris is set to the great task. And yet Nahia's just on a slightly stoned wander.
Would you happen to see a bear struggling with books on your way out? I'll roll
Probably.
perception.
Yeah. Ursula?
Hey, I'm trying to. I'm going through the indices to
Yeah, what
find
do you...
Maidstone.
Oh, masonry and the index, or indices.
Yes, I just make suggestions. There's a lot of more than one index.
That's... yeah, that makes sense. Glance. Oh, this was alphabetized in Draconic. I'll just point her in the right direction. Should be somewhere that away.
Oh, that would make it easier to find. But sadly, I don't have all the time in the world to pick up stuff to do and Inaya stuff to fix.
Yes, I'm eager to get underway. I greatly miss my family.
Oh, oh, right, the big blue guy.
Oh, yeah, it's Sir Calbert. I do not know where he is currently. We should probably check and see if Tarnavak is awake and ambulatory.
As well as Hashat has stopped being inside Tassie.
Maybe. I guess we'll go check and see where everyone else has gone to. Give everybody a wave and then go hunt them out in the gardens.
Alright, well. Before you leave the library, however, Tarnavak has already found Sir Calber after passing by Tassie and Hashat and their picnic. A short walk through the gardens past there reveals another clearing in which there is sat a group of Loresians perhaps half a dozen in total, all dragons by their great old iron helms and swords. 5 of them are standing around, but one is sitting on his knees, hands planted firmly on them, contemplating a tremendous sword that has been laid out on an oilcloth before him. This is no cold iron blade, but rather seems to be made of sharpened bone with leather roughly wrapped around its hilt. Calvert looks up as you approach. You see his expression darken for a moment, but he restrains himself. Lord Tarnavak, we meet at last.
I will offer him a full bow. And say, Sir Calvert, in other circumstances it would be a pleasure to see you again. But I hear that you have taken a quarrel with me.
With you and all your friends, yes. Not only have you deprived me of a prize to be granted by the goddess to a knight of Lyris, but worse, you and your friends have lied to me. That much is plainly clear. For that grievous offense, will slowly stand up, though his hand does not go immediately to the sword. I demand justice.
I told you no falsehood, sir. Oh, I will admit, there were details I did not share, for in your righteous anger you did lay threat upon those I claim as close as my blood.
You sheltered murderers and criminals. You prevented me from carrying out my investigation and wreaking the goddess's justice upon those who tormented a dragon goddess's soul and murdered hundreds. I understand some of them may be your kin, but justice must be done, and as yet it seems the ringleaders of that group are unaccounted for.
Ringleaders who lost themselves to madness as children. The torment they laid upon the princess was laid upon them in turn by the raw power that she holds in herself. They were fools, and they did wrong, but they came to this with good intent and suffered every step of the way, sir.
That matches the Princess Ceres's account, but on one point. Her blade, so saith the goddess, was bound to one man, and there were at least 2 in charge of that group, a man and a woman. You can plead madness for the boy if you like. The woman executed his will, twisted though it may be, without magical compulsion, no soul half possessing her. Would you not
Tell
say
me,
it would be her
sir.
duty to stop this man?
If your brother of blood, who has raised you as much as your parents have, who has protected you, if he asks you to do something, can you, in full confidence, say you would be able to refuse?
He asked me to butcher innocence. Without question, I would refuse and restrain him.
But if you never had anybody to teach you, what would you even know what an innocent was?
And it does not start with that. It starts with little things. It starts with butchering someone you know is a villain. It starts with not giving mercy when someone you know is wicked offers surrender. Things that, while cruel, while unjust, so much easier to justify, so much easier to make sense to yourself. And then each step after that just grows a little easier. You don't know how far you've fallen until someone slaps you in the face with it.
That does not absolve you for the guilt of what you have done.
Oh. But when we did find her, and we did show her how far from the course they set out on they had gone, who do you think it was that enabled us to find her brother? To break his madness and release the princess from her torment? She is guilty, aye. But she has started to walk the path of redemption, even though it meant betraying one she loved.
I will not deny that beginning to walk the path of Galera is admirable, but that does not excuse murder. That does not mean you get to walk away unpunished.
He's not walking away. If she's learning the proper actions, she's going to start being a help to other people.
So what? Would you excuse every mass murder? Would you excuse the very butcher of the elves? Should he simply claim he's sorry for what he's done?
It's not as if...
Not if he just claimed it, no. But if he spoke the words and acted true to them, he saw him try to better himself, and in doing so try to better the world. And it would be a waste to strike him down. There would be justice in it, for certain, but justice must be tempered by mercy for those who repent in true. Oh. This is a place for gods, Sir Calbert. And I say this with no hesitation in my heart. Calera, I ask you, if Rajan and Terej do not deserve the chance to live out their redemption, strike me blind so that Sir Calbert may take my head.
Robert glances skyward and scowls. Begging one God's opinion is a fine thing. But what do you think Agaresh would have to say about letting a witch and murderer who perpetuated the same crimes, admittedly on a lesser scale, than she who blew apart your home continent committed? Ask the god of fire what he believes.
Can I just take a moment to think here?
Sure.
Agarash, Master of Conquests and Lord of Flames. You have seen what I have done. You have seen me fight. You have seen me give. You have seen me defeat those of whom we speak and give them mercy. Is it not the conqueror's right to choose, Lord Agarash?
Tarn, you feel the temperature around you rise. Enough soon that the grass browns and leaves crinkle around you. And there is no smite from on high. Calbert frowns. You claim right of conquest. Fine, then. There is no justice in it. And I name you and your friends craven and weak, clouded by mercy, undeserved. But if it be the gods' will, that will have to do.
Sir, I cannot allow that insult to stand. I do not wish to fight you, but you name my friends as such, and I will. But no, but I will fight with the knowledge that I am the one who walks the path of the righteous.
Tarn, when you say this, are you trying to convince him to back down from this fight? If so, that would be a good opportunity for an intimidate check.
No, I don't want to throw a check at that. Just let him take that how he desires to. Whether that is backing down or just going into the fight, let's leave that entirely on him.
And yeah, at this point, anyone who wants to be can probably have heard the commotion and come around to see.
Yeah.
All right. See, I think Calvert's going to just make a perception check, first of all. Just see how he thinks he fares against you. Whether or not he will give himself disadvantage on his wisdom save to avoid his pride here. All right. There's a long, drawn-out moment. You can hear his plate gauntlets crinkling. Or he releases his fists. You hear a huff of cold breath beneath his helm. My apologies, sir. I have overstepped and shamed you. I disagree wholeheartedly with your interpretation of justice, but to call you and your friends cowardly was ill of me, and I beg your forgiveness.
I accept it, sir. But I'll go down to a knee and unbuckle my sword belt. Should there come a day that Rajan and Teresh prove us wrong, I offer you my blade and my loyal service in righting the mistakes I have wrought.
Halbert will, after a moment's pause, remove his own great helm, letting dreadlocks spill down his back, hold it under an arm, and he places a gauntleted hand over yours around Tomakiri's sheath. I will hold you to that, sir. I pray you are the wiser man than me, lest more innocent blood be shed by them. Will give you a slow nod, draconic eyes narrowing for a moment, before releasing your hand. He turns to leave, motioning for his men to follow him. A moment later, there are 6 great white and blue draconic shapes circling the floating island and heading southwards, back home.
You were born to be a politician, Tarn.
Any other time, I doubt I'd have had the confidence to go that far, but
Well, yes, obviously, it's a lot better to back up your words with the ability to kick his ass if he takes them poorly.
not that. Not that. It's not strength, but it's...
Oh boy, do I have something to tell you. Saris has a lovely new outfit. I suspect she is the source of your impassioned speech then.
a part, but no. More than anything, it is knowledge that here the gods are all listening, and I can bare my heart and let it be judged, not just by men.
I guess I take it for granted how often I've got, goddess speed dial.
I mean, we all know Mori, but
Just saying, that whole certainty of purpose and eyes of the gods thing, I have that all the time. It's glorious and wonderful and definitely leads to a lot of misplaced confidence. And some very well placed confidence too, don't get me wrong.
I'm pretty sure with you it's mostly well placed.
Hmm. We'll call it mostly. Yeah, well done. No fight came of it. Hopefully Sinatra enjoyed the show regardless.
Was that a factor I should have been taking into account?
I don't know. I wouldn't have wanted it to give you performance anxiety, but she was watching with great interest to see whether the spar of swords or words would come to a collision.
I'm pretty sure Tarnavak would have taken him in the sword one too.
Probably.
I don't know. A lot of it would be decided in negotiating terms for the duel. I mean, if it was allowed to do Szooth's favourite tactic and just fly away for a bit, I would probably struggle to catch up.
I imagine he would want to duel you knight to knight when it comes to the case of missing honor, as opposed to take advantage of mobility and stay out of sight and I guess swoop on you. Then I think in Senatrea's city, swooping on people is going to damage a lot of it and probably piss her off.
She did specifically request I not break anything.
Yeah. I imagine part of him deciding to leave it at words comes down to the fact that he would have to probably go far and beyond the code of standard chivalry to take you in a fight.
Well, if he wanted to take us all on, because he's like
He did have a dragon
apparently gonna like
cohort. That would really double down on the property damage.
Oh yeah, definitely.
especially if Hashat starts swinging stuff.
I would be at a severe disadvantage in this place.
Yeah.
Very well. Technically, you're very advantaged because, like, the stone here is like
It's pretty nice.
yeah, but it's not just very nice. It's actually like I don't think even granite. It's like the same type of sound. Whatever stone they use here is like really different. So if you like do your stone stuff with this, it's like I don't want even I don't want to be hit by this stuff.
Pretty sure this ground. I'm pretty sure this is all made of bedrock.
I've never heard of bedrock that has the colouring of marble, but well,
Yeah, this is
will be
not marble.
gods.
Yeah, they can do whatever they want, pretty much. Well, almost everything.
It's got the same kind of like deep old feel to it, like that.
Yeah, I imagine all of the rock here has about as much magic in it as, well, you.
Hmm.
Yeah, actually, this place probably does feel
Hey.
very familiar to Hashat in a way. surrounded by earth magic in one respect, and no small amount of air magic.
What about fire, water, and heart? Captain Planet!
I mean, you guys brought the heart magic here.
It's true.
The fire magic was also here.
Yeah.
And I mean, this place does have water just pouring out of fucking nowhere, so yeah,
Yeah, and I bet the pollution here is down to 0.
pretty much it's negative carbon emissions.
Oh no! So she will just take her seat on the throne in the fucking cathedral there, and you just hear the fucking goddamn transformer noise. That's the entire island just transformed into a giant earth golem. Fucking form the mega sword.
Well, so now what do we do?
I don't know.
Guess our purpose for coming here is done.
Yeah, it'll be a shame to go again. This was just wonderful.
It is really nice.
I should. Well, now this is done, I should ask Senator if she has come to a decision on me. But
Oh.
Yes, whether you're going to dragon or not. That said, I think that her argument did have legs. That said, dragon aren't very cool.
I will not wholly be myself, but all people change in time. I've already changed a lot through knowing all of you.
Fair.
If she allows it, I will pay whatever price is needed.
Well, I can support your decision either way. And maybe just the simple fact of it granting you a lifespan to match Cyrus's will help convince her.
Indeed, I mean, it's not like she would think, I was gonna say grandkids, but in this case it would be like great grandkids. She haven't had those in like a really long time.
It is true she would get the dragon great grandbabies.
I wonder how that would
What
work,
if you
but
were to Hobgoblin? I think just dragons have the stronger blood, but unfortunately I was about to say there's not much of a study on it. The Grand Archives probably does have that answer.
I
Probably.
was more considering if she does grant me the transformation. Saris is half cold, half fire drake. I am, at least through the crown, all fire drake.
Is Drake and Dragon the same thing, or is it like...
Drakes are different, but when you speak colloquially, there's a great deal of overlap between the types.
Okay, what's the actual difference then? I'd like to know, so I got it in detail.
Drakes are four-legged and wingless. They are not hugely intelligent, but they are, they have cunning and some are, and quite dangerous. Dragons are much more intelligent, have elemental breaths and wings.
They're far more attractive.
Okay, so... Oh, I figured it out.
Did you?
The word drakes comes from Dracos. And they just removed the O's.
Pretty much, yeah.
But because they're less than the word of Dracos, that means they're lesser than dragons. So they're drakes. Right?
I'm not personally familiar with the etymology, but it makes sense. Of course, then you get into wyverns, and they are similarly draconic beings, but also lacking in comparison to dragons.
Well, yeah, lesser. See?
Yes, it's just the name wyvern, unless it comes from a different language, which it might. It doesn't follow the same rule of take the formal name for a dragon and then remove a part.
But then that also makes me think it's like dragons got 4 legs and wings. And then you got drakes, which are like 4 legs, no wings. And then you got wyverns, which are 2 legs and wings. Like, how do you get from 6 to less?
There's also worms who are draconic beings with no limbs. It's worms with
worms?
worms with a Y. WYRM.
Oh no, you shouldn't have started on that part.
Okay, so... Okay, I was... And worms with Y has no legs.
What do you mean?
How do you go from...
Pretending giant snakes are some kind of dragon is just an insult to dragons. They're clearly a different genus altogether.
On one hand, you are a goddess. On the other, you are the goddess of the grave, not the goddess of nature or draconic etymology. So, I'm not sure whether to entirely believe you.
Or looks incredibly put out. Believe what you will. I'm going to get coffee.
Coffee sounds good. My high
Then,
is starting to wear off.
but how do you go from 6 to 4 and 2? If they
Inbreeding?
are why? But all dragons were. Wait, that doesn't work out because all dragons came from Senatrea. So that doesn't. No. You're trying to fool me. Don't try it. All dragons came from Senatrea. See?
I expect. Well, Senatrea is not just a dragon, she's also a goddess, so she likely has some way of avoiding that issue. But the further away from her you get, the lower the generation of dragon. It's rather higher. The more of that divinity is diluted, and after a certain point, whatever protection that the Residium dragon and that her close descendants have against inbreeding, it wears off.
So the closer you are to Senatrea, the purer you are.
That would be my theory, at least. And if we actually want to get into this, we can probably look in the archives. But
You're probably better at that than I. I was trying to look up masonry, but thanks to Nahia, I found the area that was supposed to have the index for masonry. That was the other side where I was. So, and it was in Draconic. So, I had a little issues trying to find it. But you know Draconic, right?
I do. Is there anything specific in Masonry you were looking for? Or just reading on the topic in general?
Well, I don't really think they got like dwarves because dwarves apparently aren't that old. So trying to see if they're like, I can be better at making with the stone stuff. So once we all get, like all this adventuring and stuff, so that like retire and I got something else to like lean back on instead of like getting beaten over the head or trying to beat other stuff. I'm not really good with the whole like diplomacy and social intricacy and all that stuff. I can do housework. I can clean a home, and I can do the numbers to keep. I can balance the books for a home, and I can do stone. That's what I'm good at.
There is something else, Ursula. You may not be the most adept at social intricacies, as you say, but you are a good and loyal friend. And that has a great deal of bearing.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, this being friends and all is good, but it's sort of like you're not gonna pay me to be your friend. Like, like I need a job afterwards. Remember, we can still be friends, but I need a job.
Alright. But
Yeah.
being...
Have to pay taxes.
Yes, but being loyal, being proven that you're trustworthy, that's something that will go a great way on its own in helping you take care of yourself. And if we're ever done.
Well, hopefully we get done one day, because if you go dragon and stuff, I'll die before you're done. Because, like, see, maybe, maybe Szooth. I definitely, because I don't, well, I don't know how long Szooth will live, but I think because all the, dragon and gods and all them just love him so much, so I think it's gonna be like 200,000 years or maybe more. I don't think just wrap some knuckles on her forehead. I get this, and that only lasts like maybe a couple 100 years at best.
Well, fair enough. Worth making a plan, at least. Right.
Yeah,
I think...
that's the idea. I was like, I'm 70, so that I still have a lot of time left. But if I go to like maybe 200, I'll be starting to get old. I'll be like cat folk, 50s and 60s towards there.
Alright. Let's have a look then. I think working through the archives for a bit will help me decompress after dealing with Sir Calbert.
Well, get out of the armor then.
It's a figure of speech. It's to do with mental, not physical compression. And you deal with a heavy topic or a difficult conversation that's said to have... Well, recovering from that is referred to as decompressing.
Just looks at Tarnavak questioningly, head empty, heart full. Just walks over, pats him on the back, and then gives him a hug.
The hug will be returned.
She does not understand what this big brain issue is, so she will just try to console you.
And yes, before I go to see Senator again, I will go to the archives and try to find Ursula a book or two to help improve her stoneworking.
Makes sense. You, being the scholar that you are, have no problem swiftly looking through the index, finding more or less exactly what you're looking for or where it would be, and step into the grandeur of the library, which you didn't get any preparation for vis-a-vis Saris, and so once you step into the tower, you are treated to a dizzying height of uncounted stories of books wrapped around books wrapped around books, hundreds of thousands of tomes stretching further than the eye can see. But it's frankly hard to concentrate on that when you see exactly what new outfit Nahia was talking about that Saris has been forced to wear.
Okay, past my save versus nosebleed.
Huh. I didn't know I had a second heart, because the first one just stopped.
Auxiliary organs. Szooth has been so like he has evolved. He has lived so long that his kobold physiology now has started to mutate into trying to keep him alive. He is starting to evolve beyond the kobold.
You know,
Okay,
that's actually a good point. Szooth is like the first Kobold PC in this setting, right?
Okay, so to finally explain my long con, because this is never going to come up naturally, because it's too fucking nerdy. I actually learned about axolotls recently, and it made sense that tide scale kobolds are just like axolotl kobolds. They existed away from predators and in peace for so long that they just developed natural regeneration. And they just don't get killed. They just don't. Well, axolotls actually do die, but it's a joke that they just don't die if nobody actually kills them. But they're kobolds, so they always find some way to get themselves killed in a trap or something.
They have no natural predators, and they actually. I'm getting old. Better start rejuvenating myself back to jungling again.
The kobolds have the greatest predator of all, the universe. It uses everything to make sure that kobolds die when it is their time.
Yeah, but I was more just going. Szooth is probably the highest level kobold ever.
Yes, accurate. Perhaps he is, in fact, just a mutant.
Oh,
Yes, then Zook will start walking up the wall and reading books. Wait, no, not actually. I forgot. There's a whole process going in here.
Szooth is the other end of natural selection in action.
He has definitely been naturally selected to continue living, yes.
No, we need to keep this one alive. We like him.
Well, he's favored by really powerful entities, so
Zook only goes for the diplomacy win in civilization.
Try to tear a gaze away from Saris and yeah, let's do a thing with index cards.
All right. Yeah, go ahead and give me an, I suppose, investigation check. See if you can find anything of particular note. You can certainly find masonry books. It's just a question of if it's particularly interesting.
Can I rub Marek on this?
Yes.
Excellent.
All right. Tarn, even your eyes glaze over when we start talking about masonry. It's like, it's just not interesting to you at all. So you find a couple of fairly nice, stout tomes and hand them to Ursula.
Are they in... What language are they written in? Actually?
Dwarven, because of course they are.
Good. Afraid I can't speak to how advanced these are, Ursula. But... Well, they are in Dwarven and are...
Oh, I'll check if the tomes, the air quote tomes, are tomes or slabs.
They are tomes in the traditional sense, but their covers are made out of like very thin but tough stone, and they are bound with like platinum rings punched through that.
Nice. And be like, yes, here's the old book of grudges. Like, each page is just cast iron. And the book itself weighs like 700 fucking pounds.
They are chonkers, every one of them, yes.
Hey, if you're just gonna be scholarly, you're sure it's not gonna be strong enough to actually carry the burden of knowledge.
It's true. It's much like cowgirls need to be strong to carry their enormous tits. Scholars need to be strong to carry their enormous brains.
That's why Tarnavak has a 20 string.
Mm-hmm.
That's why Szooth had to build himself a mech.
Yes, that is
I
why.
say with my
Szooth
12
did make
intelligence. You got 14.
Hey,
You do
you're
that
a
21.
scholar. Remember, the knowledge is different. The burden of it's not a thing. You have an exoskeleton carrying you.
You know what? I think
Yes.
going to the library would be a great idea.
I have a question. How strong are these stairs?
Well, there's no stairs, but there's ladders, and they're strong enough to
Oh, well.
not be damaged by you pretty much no matter what you do to them, it seems.
Okay. Now I was thinking like if we have to put two together next to each other so Hashat actually can climb.
Yeah, no, the shot is perfectly capable of climbing these things.
Okay, now I
Yes.
just figure out because
It's a little
a
awkward
normal
because of her
person is
size, but
like,
you know, she can manage.
yeah, that's what I mean. We have to put two ladders next to each other because a ladder is about less than a person width, and Hashat's thigh is a person width.
As Tassie is ever so glad to learn every day.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. She needs like two ladders.
So let's
It's
see.
cool.
The indexes. Hashat is going to go looking, going to go through the indexes, looking for large-scale magic, like magic that can affect a wide swath of land.
Oh boy, realm magic from Birthright.
That's right. I'm looking for realm magic.
All right. Yeah, I mean, if you are capable of putting in towards what you're trying to find, which, Hashat, you're trained in Arcana, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, then yeah, you're able to kind of figure out what you're looking for. Or at least in broad terms. Is there any specific type of spell you're looking for within that broad category?
Something that can. I'm looking to be able to change the landscape or rather to build something, build structures.
Okay. Yeah, that is definitely a realm spell that I am familiar with. Roll Arcana and let's see if you can actually find a usable like scroll of it.
The Great Wall of Minotha will be a thing.
Or probably not a scroll, it'd be a ritual book. Oh god, you're gonna be the Great Wall. Hashat also is extremely distracted by half-naked dragon princess.
Oh,
Hey,
God.
she,
No, I know.
she
However,
constantly has.
with Tassie around to slap you upside the head once in a while.
Tassie's my minder around all these not quite elves.
Exactly. The occasional kinetic maintenance on Hashat's brain pan. Yes, you can indeed find a realms magic ritual book. Let me open the old Birthright real quick. Let's see. TSR, Birthright. Go. This is so old. It's used. It's watermarked from my old Drive Through RPG account.
Oh, jeez.
Realm magic. Magic and realm spells. Here we go. I don't know what this spell does, but it's called Death Plague. I can kind of imagine.
Yeah. Not quite what I'm looking for, though.
No, I imagine not. Ooh, there's mass destruction.
Okay, so far we got Corona and
Here we go. All right, so let's see. This is the Stronghold Spell. By means of the spell, the wizard conjures up a castle, tower, fortification, or building of any kind. Something cost that I'd have to actually convert over because none of this makes sense. The wizard can make the construct permanent with a permanency spell, which doesn't exist. But he is aged 10 years in the process, which doesn't matter for you because you're fucking ageless. The wizard can dismiss the stronghold anytime he wishes. If he dies without the stronghold being made permanent, it fades from existence. So yeah, that seems about right.
Fantastic.
I will convert that into an actual usable spell. Let me just make a note for myself here.
just make Castle Grayskull or something like that.
Yeah, you literally could. So let's see. I'm gonna roll something for Tassie herself real quick. Just to see if she spots anything, because there was something in here that might be useful to you other than just mass destruction wall. So I mean, she also notices mass destruction, which is fucking cool, but she's not gonna touch that with a 5-foot pole. Alright, here we go. Tassie also notices the Dispel Realm Magic ritual, which does what you think it does.
Huh.
Wait, Dispel Realm?
Realm magic. That's the special type of magic used for huge, large-scale endeavors like making a whole-ass castle permanent. So it's just so we're all clear, this is the name of the spell. Yes, she will helpfully point that out to you and suggest that you might pick that up as well, just in case. However,
I guess that's
while this is a library, trying to take out a book long term, because at least Stronghold will require you to spend quite a bit of time working the magic. They will have to ask for some money for that, because they'll just have someone
They
go
wanna-
make you a copy.
They need a deposit.
Yeah, well, less they deposit and more like they're just going to have someone go make a copy of it for you, so you don't have to go all the way back to Alona
alright.
for it.
Right.
So let's see. Stronghold is a 5th level spell, so it will cost 10 times as much as a 5th level scroll would cost. Which is handouts, arcane articles, scroll level 4 to 5, so 5,000 silver or 500 GP.
Whew. That's for the copy?
Yes, that is for a complete copy of the ritual. And that can be used as a scroll or as a, or you can burn it into like a wizard's ritual book.
Dang.
Yeah, this is powerful archwizard shit you're talking about.
Okay. Whew. Okay.
Out of character, you know, you could just check Talia's book. It's there.
I've loaned that to my wife today. My fiance too is currently hanging on to Talia's book because she is an Oxage.
Also, not sure if
That's what I
Hashat
mean.
could actually use that.
Because Sorcerer, not Wizard.
I'm not a wizard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you yourself cannot use spell books, but you can use it as a scroll, as i.e. a consumable. Realm
That's
magic
true,
is
you could-
on any arcane spellcasters list. Although there is also a separate divine spellcaster list of realm magic, which includes things like Bless Land, which is now
Oh.
like a medium level druid spell.
Wait, Blessed Land, question mark? Do tell.
Yeah, let's find out what that does. Sure, Tassie will probably have that eventually. By performing a special ceremony, the priest invokes his deity's blessing for a province. The affected province and any holdings owned by the priest in the province are treated as if they were one level higher for all purposes. This means that affected regents may reroll taxation and collection for the current domain turn, may increase their regency the resources accordingly. Then you can upcast that to affect more provinces, and it costs more depending on what you have built in there. So it just means that your land produces more shit, and then you get
Wow.
more taxes.
That's pretty cool.
Okay. That's
It's my
actually
favorite
really
wizard
fucking
spell,
useful.
increase taxes. What kind of powerful evocations do you have to hand?
That's
accountancy.
That's a mightily tempting spell to obtain.
It is pretty fucking
Me.
cool.
Huh.
Well, it's there. Well, does it mean like not just gold stuff, but I mean like earthly resources? Does it like crop
Yes,
yields?
it means the crop yields, etc., etc. Any resource that you're collecting off that land that is naturally
Could I-
produced. You're not going to get more gold on the land, but it will yield more crops and such, which you can then tax and get more resources.
Could I exchange Residium for a copy of that?
I mean, yes, they will absolutely take Residium from you.
Very much like
Let's see.
Let's see.
I have an idea.
Why is this a first level spell?
that. Doesn't sound like a first level spell.
I believe
What?
it's a first
Sorry.
level spell because the reagents are quest worthy as opposed to the spell strength itself.
No, I mean, this is from Birthright, where Like a level
Oh.
1 character could just be the prince of a country.
Yeah.
That is why. Let's see. This is,
Oh,
I believe, probably a 3rd level spell in modern-ish terms, at least. Sounds about right.
The Blessed Land.
does this spell have a duration?
Yes. Let's see. Duration 1 domain turn, which is basically a season.
Oh, so it's something you'd have to keep constantly.
You'd want to use it.
You'd have
I
to
mean,
do it.
using it in spring seems good then.
Yeah,
You said
exactly.
you said it was a divine spell.
Yes, this is a divine spell. Specifically
I
on the
could-
cleric spell list.
It is not.
It is specifically
it
a cleric
is.
spell.
Oh,
It is
Okay.
something you have to ask Mithras
This-
for really nicely for fertility on your land.
I could then Valera could learn, prepare, and cast that.
True. As could, Tassie.
it-
Or Taffy.
Yeah.
yes. Is
You have
it
2 arc
possible to
clerics.
get? Is it possible to get a scroll of these or a ritual scroll or whatever?
Yes, that is indeed what you guys are in the, or at least Hashat is in the process of doing.
Because Ursula knows a certain cat boy that could use this.
A certain cowboy.
France.
Oh, right, because of the problems in the Amazon lands down south.
Yes,
Huh.
yes. That entire domain thing was the fact that this is there a weather one for like less rain and stuff? Like the rain down in Amazon land?
Let's see. Do. Not in the core book. Maybe in some splat book I do not own.
What was the name? Birthright. Did you
Yes,
say?
it is the Birthright campaign setting, is where Realm Magic is from Advanced Dungeons and Dragons 2nd edition.
Rain spell. Second. That was 3rd edition. Second.
I'll be right back. We were looking for some kind of bless rains spell.
Well, yeah, they had drought and low crop yield because of drought, but why would you? Oh, god damn it! Why would you
I mean,
use light letters? How?
I think Blessed Land would
Bright
just be
background
what
and
they
light.
need to help them there.
Okay. Well, I'll take your DM word for it then. So you said 3rd level, 10 times 2,500.
Yes.
Correct?
Yep.
Okay, so 500 GP for 2. So you're gonna get 2 seasons of that good stuff.
Sounds good.
Go. Cash taken off.
Cool beans. Alright. So, other than ogling the princess, is there anything anyone else would like to do in the library?
Uh, would I have time to look for something after I help Ursula?
I mean, you guys have as much time here as you want, really. Nahia's kind
Air
of jonesing to
quotes.
go, but if it's something readily available, certainly. If it's something that will require significant research, probably not. If you intend to depart soon.
Okay, so we will see. I will have a quick look, and if it seems particularly obscure, it can wait until another time.
Where?
Yeah. So, would like to very specifically look for books related to the mirrors accessing other realms.
Alright. That is definitely going to be specific research you would need to put in. There are certainly books about the mirrors, but trying to find something of that age and specificity would take some time.
Fair enough. We shall have it to return to at some point.
Some tokens around here right quick. So I believe you are all heading back to Sinatrea's at this point.
Yeah.
Right. When you return from your day's activities, Sinatrea glances up from where she is speaking quietly to one of her draconic aides. Regard the lot of you with a slight bow of her head. Well, that was anticlimactic, but I suppose one less dead dragon is always a good thing.
I found a way to not break anything, not even his armor.
No, nor even his feelings, at least not terribly much, it seems. It seems Kalira was quite right about you after all. I
I would, I thank you, Your Eminence, but I would hold that off until I prove it against a more against a even more committed opponent than Sir Calvert.
As you say. Speaking of things committed, it seems you've misplaced my granddaughter.
That's my fault. I asked if she could help me with the investigating planar travel while we're occupied. since it became readily apparent that she has a much better idea of how to do it safely than I. And that seemed prudent.
I would say listen to the dwarf more, but I, for one, am not unhappy with the prospect of Sarah staying here for a spell.
Indeed. I wasn't going to, of course, tell her that that was part of the reasoning because she'd get huffy, I'm sure.
Yes, I'm sure she would. But the princess is safe and sound at last, and the adventurers are well prepared to strike out once more to save a poor little salamander's legs, I take it.
Maybe. Well, yeah, okay. There's obviously no point in being coy. Indeed, and Nahia is in need of quite dangerous surgery. Efforts would be made a lot easier if she was under the effect of regeneration on a more permanent basis in
Not
case things were to go wrong. Her and a child both. And precious little kitty baby.
not
Huh. I wish you luck, adventurers.
Thank you. Hopefully we won't need it, but I'll take everything you have to offer.
What I offer is emotional support. That will have to do. Unless one of you would like to become one of my clerics.
I think I'm quite taken, but I appreciate the offer.
I am afraid the last one I met was very enthusiastic and quite hyperactive. Not the sort of qualities I myself possess.
That's just because she suffers from some sort of eating disorder. And most likely had some sugar before she met you.
That would make a great deal of sense.
You hear the deep rumbling of Senatre's laughter.
I don't think I have the brain pan for it.
Really, I am a bit surprised the boon you all hadn't thought of for rescuing Ceres wasn't granting the dwarf the great intelligence your hat boy possesses. But then again, that might just doom all of us, so probably best not. He's dangerous enough
Mm.
just being a savant.
Shucks.
Don't worry, my son is smart enough for both of us. He's a smart one.
I'm sure.
I don't know. He is. He's a um uh, alchemist, think, and inventor. I think was another word for that. He's making all kinds of things. He's really smart.
Oh no, I'm aware of the lad. If anything, you're underselling him being smart enough for both of you.
I wouldn't. I don't really know really how smart he is because I haven't really gotten the time to get to know and everything because we're running around and doing all the stuff.
Yes, I understand
But
the
like,
predicament.
I just know that I know that the distance between how smart and him is a lot bigger than from me to, dumber things.
Senator just nods sagely.
So so I'm just happy that he can do all the stuff that he wants. I just hope he's happy.
No.
You are going to make me want to shift back down so I can come to give you a hug. Stop that. So,
Don't worry, you can hug Ceres.
oh, I intend to. Several times a day, every day. Preferably from now until the end of time. I have learned all too well that time, even for a god, is precious. But enough about that. Is there aught else you wish of me, adventurers? I see at least one of your eyes lingers yet.
Hmm. I did wish to ask if you had finished your consideration of my request.
I have, if you are committed to the idea. I have 3 ideas rattling around. You may take your pick of whichever you feel suits you best. The first, most simple and direct, is I do to you what that little demon queen has done to herself. A permanent polymorphic effect. You shall become a dragon of equivalent power to your corporeal form, with a bit of shape-shifting, normally something a bit advanced for a wormling, but he'll cheat a bit just for you. Of course, if you wish something more permanent and irrevocable, you could be reborn wholly as a dragon, time-consuming, but would give you the full life and breadth, which is to say, eternity of a dragon. And the third, and I admit I'm a bit biased on this one. You say you wish an eternal, draconic leader for your realm. But who says it ought to be you, Tarnavak? After all, you will be wed to at least already an Amazon woman, and what shall she produce but at best a half-dragon? I need not change you, but simply your seed, such that those offspring you produce are dragons true and majestic in all the ways a dragon ought to be.
Does that mean does that mean that Shiki would lay eggs?
Why, yes. And trust me, it's very fun. She'll have no complaints.
I would have to speak to her on that first. You leave me only one option I can take here and now, and that is the second. Though I do not. I must ask how long such a process would be.
To be reborn as a dragon would take about a year, and considering how powerful you are now, I think you would have a head start past being just a little hatchling, such as Casternex's daughter. But not all that much of one. So indeed, this would be the option you'd be best served with taking after you have your throne. If you can find someone to hold it for you for a few years while you recover from the transformation. But if you can, you will be glorious and eternal, as Ceres and I are.
If I cannot find and convince someone to hold the empire the way it needs to be for just a year, there will be no hope for it at all. Even a dragon could not force them if it is so far against my people's nature.
Wise words, and more promising still that you would deign trust someone to run your kingdom for you. History has a whole list of petty tyrants who would do no such thing.
In time, I would not see it be my kingdom. Perhaps not even a kingdom as we understand them at all.
Oh.
That is many years away. But for now at least, I think I can. I know that I can place my trust in a regency and in councils. And if they prove me wrong, then this all was for naught.
Very well then. Once you have your land secured, and think your realm stable enough to survive your absence for a time, return, and I shall grant you your wish. Or convince your wife. Either is fun enough.
Thank you, Your Eminence.
Don't thank me until you've had 300 years to grow incredibly bored.
Oh, I must insist on thanking you now. A year ago, I would never have merited even a moment's consideration. Not from you, not from even Agarash, to whom I had served.
Perhaps, perhaps not. But you are the product of your choices, and they have been, thus far, commendable, you and all your friends, even little Morgan. So, then, adventurers, I leave you with my thanks for returning my granddaughter to me. I shall cherish this gift laid upon my feet for all time. Go with my blessing, now and always.
Go with ours for whatever our tiny blessings may amount to.
May your wings soar, may your breath reach the heavens, and may your magic flow eternal. Sinatreya, first among dragons.
Smile creeps up the Great Worm's features. Bow her head, and yeah, the high priest behind you will open the doors once more and let you filter out.
Thank Kuaya for her graceful hospitality, because it has been a lovely stay overnight.
If we run over and steal a boot before we go,
Yes, indeed, as you begin to leave the cathedral, you are each presented with a small basket of various exotic fruits, likes of which you have rarely seen before, and in Nahia's case, also a small wooden box of white hot chocolate mix.
Yes, excellent. Thank you very much.
Well, when I notice the bananas, I will say, remember to peel this one.
Yep.
The peel is not good.
I will ask the servant who brings them. Will the seeds of these take in any land outside the holy city?
She gives you a slight smile and says, "These fruits have no seeds."
Even the watermelon?
She smiles extra wide when you say that and nods.
Wow, impressive.
One might say a miracle.
Ah, see what you've done there. Thank you again. And good luck.
Can, if naught else concerns you, return to the airship dock and begin the trek back to land.
So while I was gone, were there any other interesting realm magics that we came across?
I don't believe so.
Okay, so it's just the two, the stronghold and the land blessing one.
Yeah, those are the
I
only two
pick
that
up then.
anyone bought.
Okay.
Well, the Dispel realm thing, I just maybe think of Kina just dispelling the snow, ice queen, whatever her name was, the ice face
That would be pretty funny.
of Dominion. Yeah, it's like, I had this entire forest as my Dominion. Dispel. Fuck.
Denied.
You, you have no power here?
Yeah, I mean, literally, what the Archfey did to Kina's land was some form of realm magic to freeze a bunch of shit up there. So yeah, you could dispel what she wrought.
That would probably make her kind of annoyed with me.
Most likely, yes.
Hey, Kina,
Hmm?
dispel her realm and then throw fucking mass destruction.
Oh no.
Mass destruction, it's your territory.
It's my territory.
No, the woods there.
Oh, that's a
where the
terrible
fucking-
idea. Oh, I don't want to do that.
I feel like that pisses off so many people.
That would be terrible.
Enough powerful things would survive it to just all group together and come fuck Hashat's shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
And I don't think anyone stands up for you when it's like, you did what to the whole forest? Fuck that, good luck! We're gonna be over here preparing in case they're still angry after they've finished killing you. Oh, that'd be so fucked. I was just thinking about it, like, God, that would be so fucked.
Yeah, that would be a bad time for a lot of people.
Apropos of nothing, looking for a fresh ramen crate to restock, and my favorite duck one isn't available. Where?
Duck
The
ramen.
next time we
Yeah,
fight, let's
Nisindeming
different
duck
story.
ramen is one of my favorites.
Have you ever had duck ramen before?
Ducks.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's lush.
Yeah. It's a very rich flavor, but duck itself is also extremely fatty.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say that I don't like handling duck fat because that shit becomes sticky so fucking
Yes.
quickly.
Wonderful donor stew pot.
Oh yes, I'm not denying the fact that it's extremely delicious in all its aspects, but it's just as soon as it cools a little bit after it's been processed, it's so god, it's sticky.
Hello?
Hello.
And she
Oh, I
cut
thought that
out.
was me.
And she hit mute, I think, for some reason. Or Mutra.
Yes, I hit mute because I got attacked by a very cuddly kitten.
Ah. Meow.
She doesn't meow, she squeaks. Hence why I call her Squeak.
That makes sense. That's why I would call them Boo.
Okay.
Yeah, she didn't. My old cat didn't really meow around her, so she didn't learn the whole meowing part. So she just squeaked.
Adorable. So, once you return to the Great Ranger Fortress and are deposited back onto solid ground, what do everyone?
Oh, thank fucking gods. Hug the ground, first and foremost.
God, well, it'll be back we go again, or we can obviously just teleport.
Where are we headed to? Back to Ivara or to the...
Vara to pick up August because he wanted to be part of Relic Quest, so to speak. I believe the place has their relevance to him.
Yes,
Alright.
and I need to have these sent down to the Amazon lands.
And there is something I need to do in Ivara that I've been putting off for a while.
Oh,
Oh, what is it this time?
All of you keep calling me a good man, and gods are proud of me. Senator said my choices have been right, but there is still one thing that needs to be laid to rest before I can accept that.
What's that?
Did you not pay your taxes?
The goblins.
Oh. I have a question.
The ones from the sewer?
Yes.
Oh, right. Oh, right.
Oh my god, save
oh Jesus. For real.
Oh, sweet.
Oh, I was wondering if that was a.
Yeah. Tarnavak, I have a slight question.
Yes.
What does... I just asked this in a very broken Hobgoblin. Skull necklaces mean?
You would need the rest of the context of the conversation in the goblinoid tongue to understand it.
Well,
Remember,
it was a single word. You kept repeating when done.
allow me to explain, Ursula. I believe most of you, most if not all of you, do not speak the goblinoid tongues, so you did not understand what I said to them.
And?
When they challenged us while we were there, I commanded them. I didn't ask. I wasn't polite. It wasn't even a command, it was a threat. Said we had no business with them, but we were passing through. And if they were going to try to stand against us, I would use their skulls for necklaces. That is what that phrase means, Ursula. Skull necklaces. An ancient tradition among the Hobgoblin tribes to show your prowess and how many people you have conquered. Anyone you slay by your blade, you string their... You strip their skull of flesh, you string it, and you wear it. First
Just
dozen or two will be necklaces after that. You'll need to wrap them around your arms, your waist.
That's quite dark, for sure. Good.
pinches the bridge of her nose.
That's pretty brutal.
Tarn,
Ugh.
hey Tarn,
Yes.
you you could have told me this before I proudly patted your dad on the shoulder and told him skull necklaces.
I mean, he would have been fucking stoked about that fact. I'm sorry.
No, I did. After he said thank you for, like regrowing his fingers that was missing.
You patted him on the back and said, "By the way, honorable pilgrims to you, sir."
Yes. It's
Wow.
just- to him, it would just be an old-fashioned compliment on his prowess as a warrior.
Okay. So it wasn't actually a bad thing in my head. That sounded actually not like a good thing.
And he could have taken it to be you boasting about your own prowess, but it's my father, and for all I've tried to teach him, and for all the good you have done, he still struggles to see women as fighters. And that's probably an under-exaggeration.
Well, if he wants to have a spar, we can always spar.
Did we still want to stop at Exodore Castle? I believe Tassie wanted to say hi.
Oh, yes.
All right.
It would be criminal not to.
Elf princesses.
Indeed.
He grins ear to ear at the prospect. I know you have to go and help Nahia, but
An extra day will be fine. Well, 2 days or whatever. I'm mostly rushing now down to entire anxiety, but the reality is she had the potion of regeneration before we left, so right now she's ambulatory and well taken care of. Just anxiety.
Hashat,
Yes.
could I ask you to teleport me to Ivara while everyone else goes to Exodore?
Sure. Yeah, I can do that.
Would you like a tag in as well, Tarn? I can use this excuse to stop by the island and, see family.
I mean, it is up to you. I would have thought seeing the elven embassy to the capital would pique your interests as well.
Oh, it certainly piques my interest, but at the same time, I do still miss my family. I'm very much torn on the matter.
Well, at least if you do come, you will be able to tell everyone else if the Triarchs decide to hang me.
I don't think they're going to hang you over goblins, regardless of how racist it was. It was fucked up and gross, but at the same time, unfortunately, goblins are majoritively seen as dungeon critters.
Well, we shall see.
Which, yes.
Well, if you replace them with very industrious kobolds,
I didn't want to say this in character, but hey, everybody else hates them, so that's fine.
At the very least, I do need to. I've preached it about Teraj and Rajan. I've preached it to Winter himself. I need to own up to that. Whatever the consequences may be.
Hardly agree with this decision. I'm rather proud. To be honest, it has been a rather constant nagging thing in the back of my mind.
Well, Szooth, I will confess, the greatest reason I have not done so before is that I, Tarnavak the Unbreakable, have been bloody scared of the consequences.
Well, I certainly think they are not going to be happy, but we've managed a good streak this far. No, that didn't sound very assuring. I don't know.
If they do kill me and they don't seize my property, give Kunigund my sword. The rest, I'll split amongst yourselves.
I think there might be another way we could go about this.
No, Szooth.
No, I mean, without you
I
dying.
mean, why don't you just offer a werekill to them?
We'll see. We'll see. I can
I have a question.
I can handle this myself. This is just one instruction I need to give to all of you in case they do insist on the death penalty. It is Tomokiri goes to Kunigund.
Very well. If that's what it
Okay.
comes to.
I would prefer to come with
I'm
you.
going to ask. I would ask a question though. What's a werekill?
Blood money.
What?
It's
I-
blood. It's
A payment or a service given in exchange for a crime.
No, I meant more what? Why is it called a werekill?
Because
Man
it's
price.
Yeah, I
Norwegian.
know.
I got none of that.
Scandinavian. It's Scandinavian in
Ursula-
that sense. So.
Ursula is asking werekill because werewolf, werecat.
Yes, it's where someone turns
Where-
into gold every full moon. No,
Yeah, it's
Vergil
like
did-
no, where not she didn't say guild, she said killed. Where killed.
No, they also do not become Ven and Tartan. Not the same thing.
Okay, so I was getting confused. It was like where killed, werewolf, warehouse.
that's a different spelling. That's a different where.
Point is, I like to come along now.
So who's all going? Tarn, Nahia, and Szooth? Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you these scrolls. I need you to send them to France. You know where he is, Naya?
Look, Tarn is a sensible man. He knows what's up to.
What? No,
Oh!
these scrolls are blessed.
Take this thing. Oh, I see. Sorry, yes, I gladly accept. I thought you were saying to go to
Yes.
France for help for Tarn. I'm like, no, Tarn can handle it. Yes, no, I know
No,
where
no.
France is. Like, hand this off.
Yeah. Well, he's in the Amazon lands. I mean, I need you to go to the embassy so that they send it to him.
Yeah, I understand. His house hasn't
Yeah.
changed. If anything, I'll probably
Okay.
just ask for their stamp because I'll be headed down to the docks myself to book some passage. I can send off the messenger ship at the same time.
Yeah. Yes, it's for their clerics to cast their. Okay, so I have to, but I'm gonna have to be with these guys, so well, so that they can get there sometime within reason.
It'll only take like 2 days.
Well, let's see. If we do a carriage, that's 96 miles a day.
Yeah, we'd have to stop over in Weldstone. Well, there is this place over here that's pretty close to it. Although, no, we can't go there in one day.
No, not
At
quite.
least not without Ursula. Oh wait, hang on a second.
Yeah, you guys have.
Does it have
Ursula,
a teleport? Wait, wrong character sheet.
what, Exodus?
I don't think I have one for that.
I think no. You have
No.
one for the actual capital. They probably do have one, but that's not one of the ones that were requested because we didn't
Oh,
even
yeah, I
fucking
could just-
consider
Right.
Exodus.
Yeah, you
I
do
could
not,
just-
in fact,
I
have
could
the
just-
teleportation circle from the Elven Embassy.
I could just go down to we could just teleport to Erin City
Oh yeah,
and then just take a
just take
Carriage
a
up
half day carriage and just
Yeah.
see them in the afternoon instead of the morning.
yeah. So if you want to
Yeah.
go with them, Ursula, that's fine. Me and Tassie will just
Well,
go say hi.
Well, I can't really do much in the whole of politics and stuff, though I am equally as guilty as everyone else.
I feel like you'd probably enjoy Exodus a lot.
Like, okay, I will ask. I'm helping them to travel mostly, but I don't really understand elves and their culture in general.
Well, I mean, the embassy would be the place to learn it if you're unsure.
Okay. Well, maybe they can teach me. I mean, I've seen their houses. They're not the type of stonework that would, well,
It would
last.
probably be very different. Exodus Castle itself has been around for a long time.
Well, did they make it? Oh, well, I have to ask them that. Well, I have to go inspect it myself. Okay. I'll go with Hashat and Tassie.
Okay. I'll just send Szooth, Tarn, and Nahia to Avara.
Oh, did y'all think?
Cyrus.
I'm sorry. Who disappeared and got lost in my fucking library?
An
Which I
extra
said she would
dimensional
fucking.
library.
Yeah, which Ursula said she would fucking do. All right, the fucking nerd.
Yeah, she also sends out like a day and a half after. You guys last
After
saw
we've
her.
already left.
Yeah, that's the first time she notices you were gone.
Yeah, your response is, and you didn't notice for a day and a half? I was literally just writing about Cyrus. I probably at that point like snap up and go, Cleona's doing fine. We forgot to say goodbye to Cyrus. Just at the same time as Tarnavak's brain is shouted in. Like literally, those two timings lined up side by side.
All right. So
Indeed.
Hashat, Tassie, and Ursula are going to Aaron City, then to Exodor, and the rest of nerds are going back home. All right. Let's archive a bunch of Aaron City maps.
We're doing a horrible thing, though. It's called
You're splitting the party not just at all, period, but over the span of the entire country.
Luckily, it's not so that we can like fight two targets at once. It's so that you guys can flirt with elves and I can go hug my child and wife to be.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
Should be
it's
okay.
probably fine. Let's
Nothing will
see.
go wrong at home.
I mean, we've done a lot of out of character. We've done a lot of things that tip the scale in our fucking favor for Ivara
We did kind of save the Triarchs twice,
repeatedly.
apparently.
Also,
Hello.
The first one, Rajan, the whole Rajan incident at the coronation, and then apparently your spy intercepted the Hobgoblin spies that were going to assassinate them.
Sorry, what's this whole conversation about?
Oh, about the odds of you actually suffering whilst here. Not especially high, considering as well you are literally responsible for all of their lives being saved.
and brought massive commerce, which is what they like because fucking dragon.
Dragon imports.
Yes. Actually made sure that their waters are nice and safe from, and Tunankir,
Oh yeah,
big friend.
Leviathan.
So I don't think so. Yeah, the fact that your broskies with a giant ass fucking red dragon, a fucking Leviathan, you saved their lives twice. You've destroyed a cult in their city. I mean, and you paid your taxes and you voted. So there's a lot of, weighing down for your favor on the scale of killing goblins. Sanctioned goblins, but still goblins. You had them replaced with more industrious kobolds. I think this actually is a pretty decent place to stop, by the way, Time-wise, not the best time to start anything new.
Fair enough. I had.
Yeah, I just looked at the time and be like, yeah.
Yeah, the party
Oh, you got
splitting up seems like a solid time to call it and deal with adventures in Avara next time.
I am going to do something with those plans I made for the Kobold sewer system and give them to the goblins now.
And the goblins are dead.
wait. There's no
Well-
goblins left, dude.
You guys did murder all of them. That is the crux of this issue.
I thought there was. Wait, do we do a complete genocide?
Yes.
Oh yeah, we killed all of them.
Yeah, you
Wait.
Yes.
exterminated them.
Like none of. I thought like we severely limited their population, and then like it was
No.
only.
One might have gotten away, but no, I don't think even that, because like that no one was around to denounce you afterwards. I think you actually did just massacre the entire tribe.
We did a no witnesses run of the sewers.
Yes, but there was a reason, DTL, that Ben bought me Goblin Slayer fan art of Tarnavak.
Okay, I'm glad my laugh could not be picked up by the noise cancellation. You slopped my shit.
Yeah, we did a payday stealth run.
Hey, it was dirty stealth. It's still
Hey.
stealth.
It did. We just grenaded all the civilians inside the fucking. There, we just EMC'd and then grenaded.
This will be much worse to all the other morals in North. All right, Pete.
All right, let's do the XP thing. Did you explore a new interesting location for the first time? Yes. Dimensional Archive of the Gods. Did you discover new interesting truth about the world?
Reborn as dragons.
Yes, we actually found like Senatrea's 3 ways of like creating an imperial dragon, and one of them including an actual way of transforming a person into a dragon that is certain and definite.
Seedless fruits and white chocolate drinks, like they just have impossible things there. Just that is their bounty.
Did you make a new ally or elastic enemy? Yeah, Calbert is going to be watching you guys like a hawk for the rest of time for any slight misstep from Rajan and his sister. So I'll count him as a lasting enemy.
Yeah, sure.
Did you advance or complete a quest? Yes.
Woo!
Did you discover a new page in a companion story?
I don't know that we especially learned anything new about Saris, surprisingly enough.
Companion includes PC though, so
Oh. Well, you made your own personal decision about Dragonland, and you explained skull necklaces to everybody.
Yeah, I think Tarn finally feeling bad enough about the goblins thing to go and turn himself in is certainly a new page.
Yeah, that was surprising.
Yeah, for sure.
Hashat does know how to speak Goblin, so she did know the whole time.
Yeah, I mean, Hashat knew what he said, but also I don't think that Hashat would have known the cultural significance.
Maybe not the whole context, but she definitely
Hashat just
understood.
assumed Tarnavak's a psychopath. Which is, you know.
Yeah.
I just assumed he was just a usual, like, super racist against regular goblins. I mean,
there's no assumption there.
That's
just
a
actually
threat.
true.
It was just interpreted as just a really mean, just a threat.
So looks like 5 XP, everybody.
Neat.
Well,
Sorry, how much did we get?
4,
5,
4, 7,
3.
8.
4, 7, 8. Oh, did I miss a
4, 7, 8.
session's experience?
Right, who the fuck knows anymore?
you didn't miss a session, but you've clearly forgotten to put one in.
Yeah. All right, 4, 7, 8. Sure. Ooh, it's close to that 500 mark.
Slow but surely.
I'll have
Uh,
to figure
Yep.
out what to do with Koinu's ASI is.
Well, I have to survive until then first.
It's
That's
true.
the crux.
I did do the maths at one point about how much cash and time it took for Koinu to make it to 11. So by this point, she would be if she like fucking hard ground it.
In the meantime, if you're watching on the stream YouTube, thanks for tuning in. We will see you on Thursday. Scoop.
Yeah.
Real quick before you close the recording, Savin.
Yes.
I feel like quite a few people earned inspiration.
Yes. I actually thought you also had inspiration. Yeah, everyone can take inspo. Absolutely.
Oh no, I gave
Yeah,
up
no, I
all
was
of mine
empty.
for dialogue ages ago. I haven't had
Yeah.
inspiration for ages.
Oh. Then yes, indeed, you may all possess that greatest of resources. Well done.
Sweet.
And now, yes, we will see you all on
I know, so
Thursday. Until then, take care and goodbye.